Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is going to be for April 18th through the 24th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so this week we have a lot going on. We have the sun going into Aries. We've got a full moon on Friday morning and a lot of aspects with Venus. And the week really starts off with a lot of retrograde energy. Mars had gone retrograde the previous weekend. And then very early Monday, we're going to have Pluto going retrograde. So this is a reflection time, and especially by the end of the month when Mercury goes retrograde. But here specifically, I think this is reflecting on your alone time or your spiritual self, where you can have more peace in your life through acceptance and these kinds of matters. Maybe reflecting on anything about working behind the scenes. And so with Mars recently going in here about a month ago, there's been a lot of this energy and drive for you to cultivate your spiritual self, maybe getting that rest, that peace in your life. But now it's good to reflect on all of that stuff up and through June while Mars is retrograde. Now Mars does also rule your 5th house, so you guys could be also reflecting on your self-expression and the things that put a smile on your face, your passions in life, or maybe your interests, whatever that might be. And so there's this, compared to last week, this more reflective energy involving those specific areas. Now, in terms of Pluto, Pluto's been in your 1st house. So now, for the next 6 months, and this is an ongoing retrograde. You know, Pluto's retrograde for half of the year, every year. So it's just the time of the year now to be reflecting on where you are putting your energy, where you are headed, what your goals are, and a bit more of that internalized state. And the big thing, too, is that you guys have been transforming. Right, and that's been for many years. Releasing attachments, transforming the psyche, releasing old habit patterns, old unconscious patterns, and things like that. But now it becomes a little bit more internalized, which is good to reflect on where you can create change and have more of that intention in your life and pursue your goals without allowing the ego and our attachments to get caught up in the way. So that's going to be the retrogrades leading into this week, but the first aspect of the week will be on Monday, which is Venus trining up to Saturn. So Venus rules your 6th, your 11th, and she'll be in your 4th. So the key with this is that you got a lot of support here on Monday specifically, I think, to cultivate your routine or your work. Also to cultivate maybe spending time with friends or networking could be supportive on Monday. And this is also that you can really connect to your home and family life, or maybe even your health. It's been a big emphasis lately with Venus down here at the bottom of your chart, which is actually a great place for Venus to be in, both in house and sign placement. So continuing to cultivate and enjoy your home and family life, as well as maybe even cultivate and connect to your body or your health in that sense, I think can be very supportive, especially on Monday with that trine from Saturn. Now as we go into Tuesday, there's a bit of transformation occurring with this. And so here, like I was saying, with these non-attachments and willingness to change, this will be specifically involving with your work or career, just kind of taking a step back, watching where the ego might be trying to hold on too tight. There might be some control. Sometimes it's not even you so much as it's an external thing, sometimes depending on your personal chart. But whatever it is, just kind of being cool here around Tuesday, keeping everything nice and non-attached, non-controlled, you know, without letting that ego get too caught up into it. And it's not saying anything necessarily, but it, you know, and it does depend on your personal chart. But something here I think is good to have non-attachment with, maybe in the work environment, maybe around home and family, and maybe involving those networks. And in that way, through that non-attachment, maybe there's something that needs to change. Maybe there's something that needs to change with these areas, or your perspective of these areas that you know on an essence needs to be done, and maybe it's just the day to do that. Now as we go into the rest of the week, we're going to have Mercury trining up to the North Node. So there is this understanding, or this stuff we're learning about here this middle part of the week. And I think what you'll be learning about is about relationships. I think you'll be learning about your career or your work in the big picture sense. And all in all, really your self-expression, because Mercury's been in your 5th house, helping you learn more about how you express yourself, what's really, you know, meaningful to you in life, what you're passionate about, what are your interests. And especially with the sun shifting into here midweek, or early in the week, but you'll probably feel it midweek and onward, this now prana, this energy to be expressing yourself, to pursue your goals, or excuse me, your interests, your passions, right? It's a tremendous area for you to gain that prana, gain that energy through. And again, you can learn quite a bit about it. And what you're really learning in the big picture sense is that this year, it's the time to be putting in energy to free yourself up, to have more possibilities, to expand yourself, right? Which has been this North Node in the 9th. Now, as we approach Friday, we're going to have that full moon Friday morning. And so this is going to be specifically with continued cultivation of your career or of your public life or your public stuff at the moment. This has been there was the last full moon, and now this full moon in your 10th house. All right, so continuing to enjoy, continuing to foster your career, your public stuff, your productive life. And there is some insight being gained at the moment. And for those of you who have been involved with, career specifically that you can think of over the past 6 months or so, this is now the status point check to see how it's going. I'm sure some elements are good, some elements need to be changed. And so with that insight, it's a good time to have that midway status point check of the year, see how the career is going, how's the public stuff going, and how you can modify and continue to cultivate that area. Now at the end of the week, towards the weekend, we've got Venus conjoining up to Uranus. So there's a bit of freeing up energy specifically with those areas I was mentioning before. So by the weekend, maybe the routine could be freed up, or maybe you're trying something new. Maybe there's something exciting or new in the work environment, which could be nice, depending on your chart. Maybe something new with home and family, something exciting Friday going into the weekend, or just feeling that individuality really coming through, because that's been Uranus in your 4th, helping you have more freedom here, all right, to release. And it's through that releasing that you find that there is this freedom, right? And it's a strong intuition, it's a strong excitement that can be had, in fact, by letting go, because it's all been in Pisces in that sense. So very powerful in that regards, and again, a good weekend for just mixing things up, trying things that are different and new, maybe spending time with friends could be exciting over the weekend, and then again, that personal life. All right, Sagittarius, so have an excellent week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.